on a mission, coming for the top position. Ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition ain't. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
You already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports.
Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. This is taken at the 3, and he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. McIntosh, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And the offensive starters for the New York Giants.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, McIntosh. He finds Beckham complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They run with Hines. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
This is Harris. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now it's Hines. He juked him. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And Rosas puts this one through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with a throw.
He's got a man, complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, 2 hands, 2 hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
14, easy.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Carson.
Rush in. Check, cross.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. To throw is Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start off.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
The extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw. Hey, watch the ball. Get, clear.
To throw on third down. McIntyre. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check. Let's go. 31.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. From the 38, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a defensive player of the year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here.
Let's go. Hey, we got
Here's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. And the Seahawks on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at a third and goal here. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Jabril Peppers, the former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They had it first and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. Second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They run with Harris. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They were winners over the Jets a week ago, and they are in the driver's seat right now as well. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Here's Wilson, and he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. On 1st and 10, McIntosh. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. McIntosh trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They were looking Jennings' way again, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This one from 48 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. So, well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 in the first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
This is Coleman, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson looking deep for Jennings. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, and it's 3rd down.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 35. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls. Check 37, check 37. Jim. Check.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. This time Wilson will throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ben Gideon showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And Jennings has it. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now it's Wilson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Double up. He's coming, double up.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Looking to throw. McIntosh. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. McIntosh. This one complete into the hands of Higgins.
Let's go, boys.
It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll toss to Harris. 17 yards and a giant first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Harris, and he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are able to cut into that lead.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
They're going to try and run, but he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts, as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a 1-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, but we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not get...
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. McIntosh. He'll check this down to Hines. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. It's caught by OBJ. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to throw. McIntosh. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. His throw incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the shotgun, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 42.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Check the backer. 36, 36. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Looking for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Here we go. Here we go.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return. Turn like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Set up, 50, plant. Check, 53, fly. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Throwing on first down. McIntosh got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and 6. He finds his target, Beckham. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. Back to throw. McIntosh. This pass complete to Higgins. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. It's brought in by Harris. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and 8. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made. No grounding. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Rosas' kick is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
53, Mike, 53. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Shoot, watch the shoot. Hey, watch it. Hey. On your team.
They will run again with Coleman. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. And they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Come on, D.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get